you have up?
I think it's like over $5,000.
Over $5,000. That's very good. Who's got good things pending? Who's going to sell a machine this week? We have one hand. You're going to sell a machine? A genie? You are? You got them in the works? Remember, because we were going to sell how many machines? We were doing 14 or 15, was it?
14 was doing that.
It was 14, right? And it was a 2-week period. So we got some machines to drop this week, guys. Right now at 3 o'clock, how would you say everybody feels right now?
Super. Pretty good.
Pretty good? Are you tired?
Yes.
Not at all. No.
You are tired. Okay, she's tired. Why are you tired?
I'm always tired.
You're always tired, okay? All right.
Adrenals.
Listen, here, I guess here's the thing that I want Dan to go over with everybody is to kind of understand, like, he's up here to answer questions that you have, okay? But, like, what is the situation for, well, the big thing is detoxification. You know what I'm saying? Like, what could somebody expect that goes on a raw diet?
Yeah, the detox. Okay, anything else, boss?
No, but I think that's a good
That's
question.
a big one?
Yeah.
Let me ask everyone how they thought the tacos were.
Great.
They were awesome.
Really good.
Good lunch. A little heavier than usual, takes a little more prep, but you pull those out when you need to, like family comes over, or when you have had a long day or whatever, you take 20 minutes or so, and you make yourself, I mean really, to make it personally, it'd take about 20 minutes to whip up a big batch of those, you know, and be no sweat. But normally you want things to be a little bit more simple, like the juice, you know, it's the low-fat vegetables and fruits that really give you the energy. When you take the fat out, you digest a lot more quickly, and you get that cellular energy from the fruits, you know. So most of the people in today's world are pretty clogged up. You know, our cells are just, I mean, look at the environment we live in. And we got everything in the whole world going against us, you know what I mean? And conspiracies and everything else. I mean, we're a lot easier to control when we're sick and overweight, you know what I mean? And then when you become free of that, you're just this, you're a little renegade running around, you do your own thing. You don't really need them anymore, you know what I mean? You just make up your own little thing, like kind of like I did, you know what I mean? Or a lot of you are entrepreneurs, right? You have a great environment here, so very fortunate. We are indeed. So the detoxification, let's see, that is like the golden key that unlocks yourself. You know what I mean? That unlocks the knowledge of that energy that's inside of you that is really gets suppressed from the early days. There's a lot of no when you're young, right? No, don't explore. No, don't have fun. No, don't scream at the top of your lungs because you're overfilled with life. So we begin right away to just be suppressed down. Your light gets pushed away. And that's the hardest part of the detoxification, which I'll explain to you in the physical sense how that actually happens and what you can expect. But the hardest part is to let your light shine. The hardest thing to do is succeed in this world. Why? Because everybody that's not succeeding, which is a good majority of the people, are not really succeeding because it's hard work. You got to get up, put your pants on, put your gloves on, and go out there and make it happen. Because no one's going to do it for you. And it helps to have the energy. I think from the raw food energy, the detoxification and the energization of your life through the foods and all the other various aspects, you can, you know, success happens more spontaneously. I worked really, really hard for a long time and really didn't get anywhere. And then I started doing what I love to do. I had a $100 an hour job, which was pretty good. You know, I mean, I was working really, really hard. It was dangerous work, but it was cool. So there was money there, you know, but I wasn't really happy. I was never happy for 15 years. I started making YouTube videos talking about this health, stuff like that. Of course, there's no money on YouTube, you know, and the whole place is a monkey house. And if you want people to tear you up every day, day in and day out, then you start a YouTube channel. But, you know, it makes you stronger. So when you're going down this road of getting successful, the last thing you want is for anything to be easy, because it takes 10 million pounds of pressure to take a lump of coal and turn it into a diamond. So who here wants to shine financially? How about energetically? Does anyone in here, would you like to, let's say in 6 months you could look a lot better. Would anyone want that? To look better in 6 months? Puh, unanimous, baby. I thought I was the only vain one here. I like to be thin. I like to have nice skin. I'm a skin expert. I love to work with prenatal nutrition, energization of little, fetuses, prenatal nutrition. So that, because the human race is degenerating. And that gets me into the detoxification. Toxic cells equals the degeneration of the genetics. So we're not as strong as we used to be. We're not as vigorous as we used to be. We all have to accept that because we're not going to, you have to do a lot of fasting and raw foods, and you can turn it around. There's tissue regeneration. I mean, you can grow new teeth, new hair. Most of us here are not going to do that. I'm kind of headed in that direction because it's a real hobby. Everything's good and working, but I did a lot of things in my past that I'd like to, so I'd like to bring more clarity, more strength, more energy into my life. The levels of detoxification and regeneration are infinite. There's no shortage. You can go all the way down and regenerate every gene in your whole body and express youthing genes and strength genes and suppress all the negative genes that make you grow old fast and everything else. But the amount of work, it's not a balanced life really. It's more like a real spiritual path, and that's your whole life. You know what I mean? So most of us here aren't going to do that, but for me to share some of the basic principles, every single person in here could improve their life with the things that I teach. I mean, I have hundreds of thousands of testimonials written to me over just the last 3 years. Little short things. Hey Dan, thanks a lot. I lost 47 pounds in the last 6 months. I appreciate it. You know. Or hey Dan, I got rid of that brain tumor and I did it in 6 months on just green juice. You know what I mean? It's like, oh cool. You know, just little things like that over and over every day. So this really does work. And my main job is to inspire people. You know, really I thought, okay, everybody kind of knows what to do, but I just wanted to make it my intention to inspire people, because if you don't get them to do it, it does all the knowledge in the world isn't mean diddly squat. You want to get a fire under these people, make them believe, you know, that you can go from poverty, drug addiction, and the scope of all the things in society that kind of, you might not know they're sort of bringing you down from your best self coming forth, but they really are, you know. And you can change your life around. You know, I'm a living testament to that, and I just, you know, you don't really, it's not like I'm trying to fix you or save you. There's nothing to save. Everything's cool. It's all perfect, in my opinion. But we all have preferences. If you prefer to feel energetic as opposed to lethargic, there's which one's right, which one's wrong? Neither one. There's just lethargic or energetic. Which one's your preference? Generally, as human beings, we want to move more into that light, where we're lighter, fresher, freer. We want to do a little dancing, play some music, make love at the beach, have a good meal, you know, have friends, celebrate holidays, be alive, and not have all this heaviness all the time from the problems of life, the vicissitudes, I call them, which no one can escape. But you don't have to die of a disease. You really don't. You know, and we've got what we were talking about, the death industry. I mean, our society is based on sickness and death for profit. It sounds a little cryptic, but if you are like me and you look into this stuff and you look into this, and you're not going to go to a cancer center and get well. You're just not. Why would they do that when there's billions and trillions of dollars in sickness? So I'm kind of the opposite, you know what I mean? I'm trying to create wealth out of wellness. I want people to get well and then succeed financially. Happiness, speak the truth. Simple truths, you know? It's not like this stuff isn't common sense, because it really is. It really is common sense. If once you sort of desire to see it, like what can I do to lose weight? There's a lot of little weird things and all. Everyone tries all the pills and the cuttings and the potions and the lotions to lose weight. No one ever told you, oh, eat some fruits, get your kidneys filtering so the lymphatic system can drain and filter all the mucus out of your body, which is sticking to you and making you fat. The toxins, the acid wastes in our foods. There's already metabolic waste in just clean raw food. There's metabolic waste. Every time you eat, breathe, all day long you're producing metabolic wastes, and then you've got digestive wastes as well. So what's going to have more waste? The cheeseburger from Wendy's or the tacos? Okay? Obviously Wendy's is going to have like man-made chemicals. That food that we ate there, all organic, all freshly picked 2 days ago, which is amazing. Like a miracle that we had that. That's why the energy is a lot better, because that food was vibrating at its highest levels. So that's a miracle that we access and source that food for you. So we should all be grateful for that for sure, because usually everything's picked 2 weeks later. But there's no chemicals, no additives. None of the fats are high heated and adulterated. None of the carbohydrates are adulterated. So that means that those foods are recognized by the body and the cells in the body. In the cheeseburger, you eat that and your cells are going, we're talking billions of years of biology, evolution, biological evolution. The cells in your body are going, what the hell is this? What is this stuff? And guess what it does? It wraps it in water and fat and stores it, because it cannot be in the bloodstream. The toxins cannot be in the bloodstream, because if your blood leaves a certain pH level, you die. So if you have all these acids from the cheeseburger, you know, meat acid forming, cheese acid forming, grain acid forming, you know what I mean? And all the condiments and the spices in there, they're all little metabolic acids which lead to inflammation. So the body has to store those away in the lymphatic system first. But once the lymphatic system's overloaded, then where? Right here on the booty for the ladies and right here on the gut for the guys. Acid waste products, just because it can't be in the blood or you will die. So it has to store them. So what's the secret to detoxification? Is the alkalization. And what's alkaline? Celery, cucumbers, watermelon, lemons, apples, grapes, lettuce, cilantro, parsley, tomatoes. Alkaline forming, dispersing. The acid forming foods are coagulated foods. They coagulate, so even if you're skinny, they're coagulating your blood and your thoughts aren't as clear. If you're overweight, they're just starting to, the acid buildup builds up all throughout your organs, glands, and tissues, and nothing's functioning. So what we're trying to do with raw foods is activate those glands again, keep that lymphatic system moving, keep the kidneys filtering, because if the kidneys are not filtering, the two tiny little pods back here, then all the mucus has nowhere to go from the lymphatic system, which is your sewer system. Everybody thinks about the blood. I don't care about the blood. I'm thinking, what's your blood work like? I don't care about blood work. I care about the lymph. What does your lymph system look like? Most of us, it's atrocious, from dairy products, sulfur antibiotics, vaccines. It's overloaded with toxemia. So what happens is people go on the raw foods and start cleansing. Well, they feel like crap for a while, quite a while. And then they go eat some junk food and they feel better. And they're like, oh, that raw food stuff's not for me. Why did they feel like crap? Because they began to release toxins. And you get kind of weak. When you pull all your stimulants out, what happens? When you don't drink your coffee, when you don't smoke your weed, when you don't have your cigarettes, when you don't have your Coca-Cola, when you don't have your meat even. Whatever it is that you use to stimulate the cells in your body. Well, what happens when you stimulate? That you get innervated. The cells get tired. You want to keep your cells energized and alive and healthy. So the raw foods, alkalization, is a dispersing effect. So that you can, for anyone who wants to lose weight, that's the key right there. For anyone who wants to stay flexible, get rid of arthritis, all of them, it's all the same thing, you know. And sometimes I get a little bit of flack here and there because they say you say the same thing for everybody. Well, that's because that's what it is. It's fruits and herbs, basically, with some nuts and seeds. And those foods your body can recognize. So the metabolic wastes don't build up, the glands and organs don't get clogged up, and everything continues to function so that you can have a good, healthy life. It's pretty simple, but it's not easy. And that's why I'm constantly encouraging people and trying to be my best to be compassionate. Because, hey, I've been doing this for 12 years, and I'm just finally starting to get to a place where I'm developing the knowledge and the discipline to say, you know, yeah, that stuff tastes good, but I just need to pass that by. You know, because you get stressed out. The more stressed you are, the more tired you are, the harder it is to eat good food, because when you're stressing, you're reaching for the concentrated, stimulating foods. So you have to get enough sleep at night. You have to prioritize on your health to get healthy. It has to be a part of your regimen. Why get healthy? So you can increase productivity during the day. I think we're animals that operate during the day the best. And I think that if we prioritize on our health, we can enhance. It's like a wheel. You know, you got to have the hub and all the different spokes, all the different aspects of your life. Some people do really well over here, but they're out of balance over here. But I think everyone in here would probably want to live a full, healthy life. And healthy in every way. Healthy relationships, healthy finances, waking up feeling good, getting enough time to yourself to go to the beach and relax so that you can continue on working towards your vision for your life. Does anyone in here have a declaration? Holy moly. Nobody in here's wrote down what you're here to do? How are you going to remind yourself every day so that you can look at that declaration and say, oh yeah, I'm here to help millions of people to get more healthy. Then I remember. Then I don't let anybody's negativity get me down. I'm here to help millions of people to get healthy. One of my goals was to become the number one raw food teacher in the world. That was my goal. I don't know how we would gauge that, but I think that I'm pretty well, in my own guesstimation, that goal has been achieved. I actually do need to sit down and rewrite a new declaration because I've achieved so many of my goals, things that I thought when you think that you might, you're like, oh, I'll just set these goals. If they don't come, that's okay, but they actually have been happening to me spontaneously because I just continue to give and allow myself to receive. You got to have a declaration. You got to know what you're here to do. You got to remind yourself every day, is it more money? Go for it. But take that declaration and put it in the other areas of your life. Build a nice, mine are really short usually. Other people have really long declarations and they read that every day. Or when you get down, you pull out your declaration and you say, I am here to make, $10,000 a month. That's my goal. And then you have something to work off of. And then when things get a little rough or people are giving you a hard time or you're confused, you pull out your declaration and you say, oh yeah, 10 grand. Then you go over there and you get down at your desk and you start working. You remind yourself what you're here to do. But you got to go into your heart. I ask myself every day for years, what do I love to do? And you have to ask that question to yourself every single day until you're so busy doing it that you don't have time to ask the question anymore. Like I have unending things to do now. Thousands of people to get back to help them. Millions more videos to make saying the same thing over and over again. This one's a little bit different because this is a very unique group for me. But, that's just, that's the key. You got to have some kind of foundation. What are you here to do? You know what I'm saying? I'm here to help people get healthy. It's real simple, but it's just what I love, and it's an art. And I hope that I've inspired you a little bit today. I did want to talk just for a couple minutes on some of the practical things that you can do to apply the energetics of this diet. Because I think that it started out as raw foods for me, but it's moved into something else. Like I'm just a dude who's here to say, yo, love yourself, love everyone, be happy. I don't even know what I am yet. It's reforming itself. At first it was this raw food guy. But now it's becoming like some kind of motivational speaker dude who just believes. I believe in the power of our own self, like the inner light inside of all of us, to do whatever you want. And I think that each one of us has a mission, something that's really fulfills us, where you lose track of time when you're doing it. And you're like, oh my God, it's been 12 hours since I've been working on this sales page. You're like, you get in the zone. And there's other times where you're just, you're forcing yourself through it, you know what I mean? That part you don't love. I think you can continue to go down that road where you cultivate more of what you're doing, what you love. You know what I mean? So let me just get into the practical stuff on the raw foods and then I'll let everyone go back to work. So juices. Does anyone have a juicer? Few people. Juicing is the therapy for the modern man, because in 15 minutes you can consume your daily nutrition of greens and and some, you know, healthy fruit juices as well. I like to eat the fruits whole mostly, apples juice well and things like that, but the juicing the greens is great because you don't have an hour or an hour and a half. I can sit down for an hour and a half and eat a no-fat pile of greens for an hour and a half, 2 hours. But who has that much time? Sometimes you do. Huge salads. When you're a raw foodist, you can really eat a lot of raw food. But if you take that and you just put it through the juicer and knock it back with some apples, which we're going to do tomorrow, a lemon ginger blast, which is worldwide one of the best, most energizing, hydrating, nutrifying drinks there is. Spicy, sweet, delicious, savory, and lots of green stuff in there too for chlorophyll, minerals, antioxidants. And you just knock back that juice, and what that does is that awakens the cells in your body. And what happens is if you can just get the daily juicing habit, the cells, you'll wake up parts of your brain that will start going, more fruits and vegetables, dude. It's like that. It sounds like that. I'm serious. It's like, more fruits and vegetables, dude. You can hear it. You're like, shut up, man. I want a cheeseburger. But if you drink that vegetable juice, it begins the process of awakening. That's why I say do it, because it's delicious. Did anyone like the juice this morning? I mean, that's a winner. It's so basic. What's that? Maybe $3-4 for that? I can't afford it. You have to be able to afford it, or you will have to be able to afford. If you can't afford to be healthy, then you better be able to afford to be sick. And being sick in this world is a lot of money. $1,800 a day in the hospital. So get healthy now, take care of yourself now, energize yourself now, and the juices is the fastest and best way to go. The next thing you do is you crack open a banana. You slice open an apple and throw some raisins on there. Oranges, pineapples, whatever, fresh fruit. It's the easiest, best thing for a human body. And that's going to give you the energy because, like I said, your brain runs on sugar and the cells in your body run on sugar. So if you get good sugar, because if you don't eat the fruit, guess what you're going to do? You're going to go to Wendy's, or you're going to go to IHOP and get pancakes, or you're going to go get cookies. Why? Because you need sugars. Everybody tells me that. I have this disease, I can't eat fruit. And then what do? They go eat cookies because you need sugar. So it's all I'm not buying it. If you eat the fruit, you won't want the cookies and the bread. But you got to believe and you got to source good fruit. And you got to get into it. You got to get excited and you got to understand that this fruit here is vibrating at a very high level. It's filled with water, it's filled with nutrients, it's filled with life. And you have to just get that into your head and you have to go, I'm doing this for my life, to add life and years to my life because I want to get well. So hopefully health becomes a part of the wheel of your success. A lot of people focus on the money. Money is awesome, but health and money, now that is a great combo. Health, money, and freedom. And so you can create anything you want in this life. So you're going to have the energy, the creative energy to do that. And the raw foods, I mean, I don't know how much you guys are going to believe in this or not, but it has transformed every single person I've ever worked with. Never once in 3 years on YouTube and all the years I've been sharing raw foods with people have I ever said I ate fruits and vegetables and my life got worse. Not once. But I've heard thousands and thousands of times I ate fruits and vegetables and my life got better. That's as simple as it is. I'm not trying to tell anybody here to go raw and be insane like me and live off watermelons, which is really cool though. I mean, you will get clear. Your head will get clear. You will see things from a whole different vantage point. You will go up the mountain. You'll be up on the mountain. You'll be looking around, and you'll see it. And you'll just be like, this is cool. A lot of your worries and stresses will melt away as your consciousness evolves. And the fruit really elevates. It takes you out of the animal living, got to get more stuff, and feel pressured to get more money. Instead, you're elevated. You're like, I think I'm going to get some more money. And you know you're going to do it. Because all you have to do is go like this, and like this. And the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one simple step. And every day you build your little thing just a little bit more. And you create. How do I want to see it? Where do you want to see yourself in 1 year? Where do you want to see yourself in 5 years? Where do you want to see yourself in 10 years? Would anybody like to go to the beach and drink little coconut drinks and get your feet rubbed? Would anybody like that?
Yeah.
I would like.
Okay, so so put that on the list. It will happen. Make your little list. I'm telling you, I've made so many lists, it's nuts. And you know what's cool? The more I give, the more I believe, the more faith that I have, the more these things are just coming right to me. And it makes me go, well, got to make another list because I got it all, which I never really thought. I thought maybe if it doesn't happen, that's cool. So you make your list and you let it go. I used to go to the beach and say, stand out there, look over the ocean, say on this little yellow paper, had it in my wallet, I'm the #1 raw food teacher in the world, you know? And my heart would just light up because it just meant a lot to me. I thought, I'm the coolest raw food guy. You know what I mean? I like my style. I like my fruits and vegetables. I think that raw foods is more than just health. I think it's the return to sanity in a certain way, really. You do get this, you transform. Like I'm a totally different person in a really good way. So it's more than just raw foods, and I can't fit it all into one quick little thing. But you can get the energy, and I always go off on these long-ass tangents. You know what I mean? And, where was I going? I was saying,
You were talking about breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
yeah, that's it. See, and then I come back to eat bananas. It's that easy. You know what I mean? And you can, and dates are good, and grapes are for detoxification to move the lymph. Watermelon detox. And lemons are tighten up the cells, will tighten up all the cells in your body so that you're nice and firm, you know, fit, stable, strong, you know.
So when they detox, if somebody goes straight wrong, okay, they're gonna detox. Let them know what some symptoms are of detox.
Detox, you can get tired. Most people, their skin gets worse in the beginning. Odors come out. Sometimes you're weak, a little bit sick, you get stomach pains, the stuff's coming out. I mean, I've seen it all. I've worked with people that were extremely sick where blood comes out. But it's not the food, the blood was already in there. You know what I mean? The foods are just cleaning it out. Junk. Mostly just really what it is it's tired. You get tired. As the toxins are being re-released, you loosen them up with raw foods. A cheeseburger does not loosen up toxins from your lymphatic system. It's a plugger. The mucus is thick. But when you eat watermelon, it disperses that. It dissolves the mucus from the cheese and the bread and the eggs and too much fat and cooked food. Eventually, those fruit sugars are like solvents. And as those solvents go through the cells in your body, it begins to break up that mucus. Then what you have is an enhanced cellular respiration. In other words, the mucus, imagine a cell here and a cell here. Put this cell in a cup of milk, boom, and put this cell in a cup of orange juice. Now which cell is going to swim around and be freer, have more oxygenation? The one in the orange juice. The one in the milk is going to basically choke because it can't get any oxygen or water to it. So you have a cell here, you want to get nutrients into the cell, and you want to get metabolic wastes out of the cell. And the fruits allow the fluids to stay alkaline so that those nutrients can penetrate the cell wall. If your body and your lymphatic system is hardened masses of mucus from those mucus-forming foods, then it is really hard for the nutrients to get in and the metabolic waste to get out of the cells. So the metabolic waste build and build and build. That's what disease is. All diseases are the same. There's only one disease. It's diseases and all the names they give them, it's all an illusion. It's all fancy stuff. It's for the medical trip to say you have this, you have this, you have that. All I say is you're acid and clogged up. What's the cure? I don't like the word cure, by the way. I could get in trouble for that. But I'm just saying, I teach people to get healthy, and if their diseases go away, that's not my problem. Okay? A lot of times, almost 100% of the time, I have found that if you get healthy, your diseases will go away. So what do? I teach people how to get healthy. How do they do that? By detoxifying the waste that is occluding your cells. That's clogging up your blood vessels so that if your blood vessels are clogged, nutrients can't get to the hair follicles. You go bald and gray. Okay? Your teeth, if you can't get nutrients to the teeth and have strong enamel, your teeth get weak and fall out. You have to have good circulation. You have to have good cell respiration. The cells need to breathe. They need oxygen, water, and they need to be able to eliminate those metabolic wastes. So I could go on and on forever, and it's taken me many, many, many years to understand this. Nights and nights of reading, all night long, and reading anatomy charts, and pondering this and contemplating it. So unfortunately, when one little talk here, we're not going to get it. So I like to focus on the simplicity of, you don't need to know any of this stuff. All you need to know is that all these processes are going to take place when you eat the foods that were designed in nature for you. And you are a frugivorous species. So the fruits are the best food for you. And you'll see that if you go down this road. You'll have some cleansing at first. You might feel worse before you get better. So you got to have some faith. But you get to know, I've seen all the people, all my time, I've been looking at this dude's raw, this dude ain't. There's a huge difference, you know. I mean, you can see it in their skin, in their eyes, in the way they live, in the way their energetics are. And you get a lot more clear energy, but it takes some work. It's not a quick fix. It's a lifestyle. And it's the lifestyle of life. We were talking about the death industry. Death is what sells. Sickness is extremely profitable. I'm not going down that road because I ain't buying nobody no Mercedes with my sickness to cut my glands out of me. Leave your organs and glands in your body. If your gallbladder's clogged up, clean it out. If your thyroid is clogged up, clean it out. Don't cut it out. You're cutting out everything out of everybody. That's weird, man. God put that in you for a reason. And that's where a lot of people come to me. They're like, I got this cut out, this cut out, this cut out. They cut out my colon. Now, how can you help me? I'm like, oh, God, I don't know. Honey, can we rewind? Start over and go back, and I can help you clean out your colon so you can keep it. I'll alkalize your colon, and it'll take me 6 or 12 months. And you can keep the dang thing. Clean it out. Clean your colon out. Clean your liver out. Clean your gallbladder out with fruits and green juices. And if there's anything that I teach you about today as far as the health is concerned, let me teach you this. Let me share this with you. Fruits and green vegetable juices. I'll say it again. It's one thing that every single person in this room could do to better their life is to eat more fresh fruit and to drink green vegetable juices whenever you get a chance. That's all. Just when you can. When you stop by the juice bar, get the juicer out and leave it out. Make a juice. Carrot apple. Takes 5 minutes. Carrot apple ginger like we had this morning. Boom. Energy, hydration, you know, bam. Antioxidants, nutrients, pectins in the apple, dissolving accumulations, pooping them out, peeing them out. Or they're going to be stuck here in your body, in your stomach, in your liver, in your lymphatic system, in your brain, in your thyroid, in your pancreas, clogging up the functions, taking away your ability to just be alive, to go have fun, to smell good, to feel good, to look good, to make your life what you want it to be. Health isn't the end all. All of us are going to get old and fall over. But the question is, what are you going to do while you're here? You know, I mean, you're stuck here on earth, believe it or not. You're stuck here in this body. So you might as well keep good care of it. You can ask yourself, and all of you are successful-minded people. You wouldn't be in this office if you weren't. So do you want to drive a Pinto that runs on 3 cylinders, or do you want to drive in a Lamborghini? You know? Which one do you want to drive? And most people are just driving around like Ford Tauruses that are running on like 3 cylinders, barely making it through the day. You know, hips are out, back pains from the kidneys being clogged up, headaches from the colon. All the debris in the colon leads to the headaches. You know what I mean? What I say, you got a headache, go get a colonic. You know what I mean? Boom. Oh my God, the headache goes away. Yeah, because you're so toxic and backed up that is causing you pain and inflammation all throughout your body, and the electricity is not flowing through those areas, so you're not able to be what you're supposed to be, which is peaceful, content. So you can keep working at creating health. And the best way to do that is to eat the fruits and to drink the green vegetable juices. salads for party time, and smoothies for convenience. Fruits for energy, herbs to heal you, salads for party time, and smoothies for convenience. And it's like, watch this video tonight if you guys want to, and you'll see. Just hear that again. And I try to even simplify it more by just saying fruits and green juices. If you just start applying those two little tiny things to your health, the rest of it can fall into place. You might be like, damn, what's up? I felt good. I had to go for a jog. Like, I ain't felt like jogging in since I was a kid, you know what I mean? You drink some apple carrot juice on the weekend, you're like, got a little spring in your step, you know? You'll go out, you go to the beach, and you'll be like, this is great, this raw food thing is cool. And then, of course, then the next day you do it, and you'll have a detoxification reaction. You go, I don't know about this stuff. But you'll remember the day, and then as soon as everything gets cleaned out, and you don't, you can drink that juice with no detox, just straight into the cells, straight energy. Once you get clean like I am, all it is just pure energy every time. Grapefruits, pure energy. Watermelon, pure energy. Bananas, pure energy. It's not detox. Most people have to go through quite a bit of detox. I've worked with a lot of people. All their lives improve, but the skin can get worse. The energy can go down a little bit at first. You know what I mean? So it's something that you have to want yourself. To really just commit to health. To making health a commitment and making it a part of your full success program to enhance your productivity of your life so that you can live your dream. Is that cool? So I think I summed it up. It's just fruits and green juices for everybody here. And I've been saying that for 3 years, every day on YouTube, and it's like I'll probably say it for the rest of my life because it really is cool stuff. It's a fun hobby. It's an art. But mostly what it does is it feeds your brain. It feeds the cells in your body, and you can really do something with your life. Everyone in here deserves to do something great with their life, to feel like they really are giving back. And I focus on the giving back, and the rest, I have opportunities unlimited. People write to me every day, you want to do this, stay in my condo, I have a boat, you can borrow, do you need any money? Because I just love to give my gift. So what do you love to do? Find your gift, give it away, and just let the floodgates of abundance come right to you. And you can have anything you want in this life. Any questions?
Where does caffeine come into all this? And espresso and coffee without sugar and
If
milk?
you're tired, caffeine will keep you going temporarily, but again, what you're doing is you're whipping a tired old horse. When you need to let that horse go out there and rest and pasture, you say, no, Mr. Horsey, we got plows to feel. The horse is dragging. He's tired. He needs some rest. Parties too much.
Well,
does too much.
Straight espresso just come from beans, so wouldn't that be an antioxidant, something healthy for you?
That all sounds really good, like the wine too, but I mean, the caffeine is it's a stimulant.
So the bean isn't bad for you, but the actual caffeine inside the beans.
It's what it is it's basically a toxin that enhances, your body wants to eliminate the toxin. So it revs up the metabolic system. So you get a buzz. So yeah, you get a buzz, but that's just because the body wants to eject that crap out of there. It's an acid. It's a cup of acid. And the nervous system just goes on overload, and you get this buzz, but it wants that crap out of there. What happens when a coyote eats poison? The coyote eats poison, and it goes, oh crap, and it takes off running, knowing that the only way to get that out of there is to raise up its metabolic waste, and raise up its metabolics so that it can release that crap. And that's the same thing with coffee, and your adrenals will get wiped out. And then you have adrenal burnout, then you have adrenal weakness, and most people in our society have adrenal weakness and adrenal burnout, and they're tired. And we need to get our adrenals online. Parsley juice for the adrenals. So those herbs will strengthen and tonify. Those leafy green herbs will strengthen and tonify and bring in the enzymes and the building blocks to produce these hormones that will give you health and life and energy.
I haven't needed caffeine. I haven't had caffeine for probably 6 weeks, 7 weeks. You don't need it. You wake up and you have E3 Live instead.
Gangster. Yeah. E3 Live. Rocket fuel for your brain. Algae. Love it. Pete?
Hey Dan, how do you feel about eggs? Are eggs a superfood, or is that
Yeah,
something
egg
that...
whites. Good for you.
It sounds good, but you know, eggs are actually one of the most congesting foods that there are.
Why do they call it a superfood, though?
Well, you can call anything that. I
Because they're
mean,
good at marketing.
it's good, but yeah, I mean, I speak in terms of detoxification, regeneration mostly. I mean, yeah, if you're a healthy young man and you're in the gym and those aminos, you're going to burn that stuff up. That's fine. Someone like you, Pete, the last thing in the world, if you want to lose weight, is to eat an egg.
Right.
At all. You don't even need it.
Right.
Anybody that needs to lose weight, your body's going to take all the excess stuff, and the liver's going to take what it needs and wants, and it's going to eject the rest. The body is an extremely efficient machine. So it's going to recycle all the stuff you've got, Pete. It's going to recycle all that, use it, and make it, if you really want to lift and get strong again, you just are going to recycle all that. All you want is energy. That's all you want right now, bro. And that is energy from fruits and leafy green plants. You just want energy, 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 energy. Then, when you get thin like me, and you're at this place, you can go, okay, I could build up now. Now, myself, I wouldn't use eggs. I would use seeds and nuts. And I would culturize them so they digest easily, activate them. I like everything with enzymes in it. Activated, living foods. The living foods will give you so much life that you won't know what to do with it all. Wheatgrass, sprouts, soaked sunflower seeds, almonds, pumpkin seeds. That's what I would do. I would turn those into yogurts and cheeses, and I would eat those and I would lift. And I would get buff. I already did that phase and it was cool, you know, but now I'm trying to really enhance the awakening of my mind. So everything is kind of up here. I'm not so much into the body the way I used to be. It's still a great body. It runs, it lifts weights, it can do all kinds of stuff, but I want to wake up. I'm really trying to wake up, you know. So I don't know if anybody can understand that, but it's like there's this cloudiness, I think, from the years of all the things that I did. You know, partying, years of partying. I'm trying to, come on, wake up so that I can really get focused and really keep just living my dream. You know, like get that real clarity and more vision to give, you know. So the eggs, I have no problem with anything. I don't even care what people eat. I just I'm a tissue regeneration specialist. So I help people that are sick, overweight, tired, dying, or just mentally messed up. I mean, I've seen every kind of mental disorder too, because the chemicals in the food mess up your head. They wonder why the kids, you can see what the kids are eating. When you go to the store, he's got the snotty nose and he's crying. Go find a raw food kid. He's going to be, okay, Mom, no problem, chilling. Those other little kids touching everything with all those chemicals in their blood, M&Ms, colorants, additives, preservatives, ADD. That's what's happening in these offices all around America. That's why we need the PEP program. Because if your mind is clear, when you take out all these neurotoxins, chemicals, additives, preservatives, go into your bloodstream, into your brain, you're not as clear as you could be, you know? So you take all that stuff out and you eat pure food that has none of that stuff in it, your whole world changes. Yeah, it's challenging at first because you start to see things about yourself that you may have been hiding from for a long time. Unconscious, unresolved stuff. As your mind wakes up and you get more clarity, you have to deal with what it is to be truly human. A lot of us just stay high and drunk and high on foods through the whole duration and never take any time to have conscious awareness of what we're giving off, what we are emanating, what are we putting out into the world, what kind of energy are we putting into this world. And if you program your mind the way I have, and your heart the way that I have constantly, by DVDs, books of spiritual masters, always putting myself in a field of energy. You guys want to succeed? Read spiritual books. Listen to classical music. Go to museums. Go for the things that are the higher vibration. In my opinion, you could leave off the rock music and the heavy metal rap music. Those things that are negative energy fields, they affect your energy field. I always look to the energy field that I'm in. When I go by myself, it's always meditation music. It's always some higher energy to lift up and program every cell in my body and my brain with higher energy. Classical music, reading books that are energetically programming. Read books on success. Read books on making money. Listen to CDs all the time. I always have something going on, unless I'm going into like some kind of silence where I want to just shut it all out and get quiet for clarity. I'm programming myself with positivity. Spiritual teachers, you can do it kind of people is basically what it is. You can do it. Otherwise you could listen to, like, watch the news media. Yeah, and get depressed, you know what I mean? Like the world is going to hell in a handbasket, but I don't watch the news, so I don't see any of that. And then everyone says on my YouTube, what about this, what about that, all the problems? I'm like, I don't see it. I'm just looking for solutions to my own life. What do I want to do with my time? I want to go to the beach and find coconut trees and take my shoes off and rest up and get my feet rubbed and get those little coconut drinks and chill out and get a nice tan, full body. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got my dreams. You got to have them. Right? Because it keeps you going on, it keeps you pressing forward. So, right on. Get successful. Program yourself. Get raw food stuff. If you're interested in this at all, watch raw YouTube videos. Just get raw food books. Go to the produce section and stand there. Look around and just let energy fields absorb into you. And then when you go and you see yourself like, is this helping me? Is this like gangster rap who's going to shoot everyone and kill everyone or whatever it is? Or the rock music or all those things that are associated with energy fields that are weak. There's strengthening energy fields and then there's weakening energy fields. And most humans dance between both. But when you become conscious, you're paying attention, you say, oh, I'm out of that energy field. You just walk away from that person. You walk away, you shut the TV off, you go out of that room where everyone's watching TV and they're talking about this, that, the other. It's all depressing, negative, who killed who today? Who cares? I go somewhere else, put on some classical music, sit and meditate, go for a walk, listen to Michael Beckwith or Joel Osteen or somebody. Tell me that I can do it. Today's the day. Get on it. Make a list. Get happy. Make a good choice. Make good choices now. Press ahead. Never give up. That kind of stuff. Till that stuff is so saturated in your brain, success becomes absolutely effortless. And every step you take is just a successful step. You are success. You are the productivity. You, what you've become by what you've exposed yourself to. What you've eaten, what you've watched, what you've listened to, the people you hang around. And if it's not working, and they're not there to support you and your vision, cut them loose. Your family will hold you back more than anybody. They like you. They changed your crappy diapers. They like you at mediocrity just like them. When you start to succeed, it's called the crab pot. One crab starts crawling out of the pot, all the other crabs reach up and say, hell no, sucker. That's the nature of the world. Don't let anybody hold you down. Sit quietly. Get to know yourself. Ask yourself, what do I love to do? And don't let anybody, not your mom, your dad, your grandpa, your preacher, your best friend, your girlfriend, or anybody, because they might not like it because it makes them uncomfortable that you're succeeding, but they will respect you. And eventually they'll come around. My whole family, at first, of course, this raw food crap, oh, you're a weirdo, it won't last, another one of your phases. 12 years later, I'm the top dog on the chain, and all my whole family juices and eats raw foods. You know what I mean? So I didn't give up, because I knew the minute that I read about raw foods, it came into me, it was over. I saw the light, literally. A whole light came up, filled me up. I was like, whoa, I got to go raw. I went raw that night, and I've never looked back. It was my destiny. So I hope and pray that you find the right book, or hear the right word, or see the right something that helps you to find your holy task. Because once you've found your holy task, there is no other blessing you'll ever ask for. It'll never be work again. It'll never be work again. It'll just be a life. It'll be creativity flowing through you. It'll be like bliss. So find your task. You'll be glad you did. Any questions? That pretty much sums it up. Thank you all.
does that mean we're doing drinks? this
Yeah,
afternoon?
we're gonna do. Is anyone afraid of being on camera? Can I show the group? Is that okay? Yeah, I'm gonna hook up the smoothie.
Tell us what's on the smoothie.
You guys like the banana, date, coconut, and spinach smoothie?
Yeah.
Sound legit? Oh yeah, it will be. I'll throw some cinnamon in there.
The spinach sounds a little weird, but I'm telling you, like that's what I lived on for the first 30 days was those green smoothies. And I know Don did too, and it's awesome. Gives you a lot of energy.